Hi there, YouTube. I'm in my bathroom today. I can never seem to get the right lighting and whatever, and my husband's out in the living room, so I thought I'd find somewhere a little more private. Not that I have anything to hide, I'm just already self-conscious about making videos, so any other excuse of having somebody hearing me or whatever, let's just not go there. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about my weight board. I've seen quite a few people on YouTube making these inspirational charts on how to show them how much the weight they've lost and how far they have to go and a few other things on it. So at the request of Rob, I told him I would work on it. So here, Rob, this is for you. I might have to actually get up. You don't think you can see this whole thing. I've made it wide across so you really can't see the whole thing all at once. Here, let me get up and I'll go further back so you can see. Chair out of the way. Okay. Now, butterflies are my thing. I've always liked them. So when I found these at the dollar store today, I couldn't resist. They're supposed to be wall decorations. But who cares? It works for me, right? Anyway, so it's just, this part here is just the title. And then I have all the numbers laid out all the way across. It's hard to do everything backwards. Up here, that little tiny bit, that's the start date. That was the day I started my weight loss journey. I was at my highest ever recorded weight at 316 pounds. The X's are all the way down to 244 now. My body mass index has actually gone from 48, I'm now down to 37. I still have a fair bit way to go, but I'm doing well. Now, some other things that I've noticed that on other people's boards that I added after I did mine up, I've got it marked in for when I was 20 pounds down, 30 pounds down, 40 pounds down, and so on. Because rather than seeing it as, oh my God, I have 176 pounds to lose, it's just easier to see it as, oh, 10 more to go. Okay, the next 10. Oh, the next 10. And then this little tab at the bottom here, that's going to be the date when I reach my goal. I just left it blank, but I attached it now, so all I have to do is write it in when I get there. I've also written in little spots like Rob showed on his video. I have a mini goal of 170 pounds. I'm 5'8", so I don't think I was ever 170 pounds for maybe more than about 5 minutes. I'm already smaller than I was when I was in high school, and yet I weigh more. That I don't totally understand, but whatever, I'll go with it. According to my healthy body mass index, at 160 pounds, I'd be at a high healthy BMI at 24. And then the low healthy BMI would be 21 at 140 pounds. I can't even imagine myself at 140 pounds. I don't know, I'm imagining bone rock. I don't think I'll even get there. However, I did write the number in. I mean, what if I do? I never thought I'd accomplish this much. I didn't think I'd come this far. So who knows? On this side, these little boxes have Bible verses written in them. Different things that have come up over time that have helped me along my journey. I'm sorry if that kind of turns you off, if that's not your thing, but it works for me. That's what I like. I'll just go through them for anybody that is interested. The first verse is 1 Samuel 15:22. Obedience is better than sacrifice, and submission is better than the fat of rams. Now that doesn't mean too much to anybody, but actually that was the Bible verse I learned when I was 6 years old. It was the very first one I ever learned. God had a plan for my life even then, and even before I knew it. I didn't know that that Bible verse was going to come back to me. What that verse says to me is that He doesn't want me to just go to church for show. He actually wants me to listen to what He wants for me. He wants me to live the way that He wants. The second verse that is significant to me is Proverbs 25:27. It's not good to eat too much honey. Now, for somebody who's really carbohydrate addicted like I am, or should I say like I was, that is a big Bible verse. First telling me that you have to be obedient to what He wants, and then telling me I'm eating too much sugar. That was a hard message to swallow. However, choosing to listen made life much, much, much easier. The next verse is Ephesians 3:20. All glory to God, who is able, through his mighty power at work within us, to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think. Well, that's already happened and still continuing to happen. I'm in smaller sizes than I've ever been in. Or I can't say ever. Like I said, I obviously was this size at one point because I got up to it and passed. But just he's been doing such big things in my life. I'm doing more things. I'm more outspoken. My personality is starting to come back. I didn't realize how unhappy I really had become until I see how happy I am now. And then just continuing on with the list of Bible verses, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you. They are plans for good and not disaster, to give you a future and a hope. Just little messages of encouragement here and there. Deuteronomy 10:12 says, he only requires that you live in a way that pleases him, love him, and serve him with all your heart and soul. Well, that kind of goes with that other verse that I was talking about. And then different Bible verses too have kept me strong when I felt like I wanted to technically cheat on my diet or make poor choices. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. There's always an opportunity to say no. There's always a way out if you feel like you're going to have a weak moment and choose the wrong thing. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. Even the things that you don't think work out. You think that's the worst possible outcome that could have happened, but years later you're looking back and see that, hey, it really did work out for the best. 1 Peter 5:10 says, after you have suffered a little while, he will restore, support, and strengthen you, and he will place you on a firm foundation. That was a big Bible verse for me. That was big encouragement. I felt like I suffered all through high school. In my grade 9 year, my dad was diagnosed with MS. My mom, who had been diagnosed with lupus when I was 6, became a lot worse. And my sister got pregnant out of wedlock at 17, all about around the same time within a year. Well, that's when I started having heartburn. And looking back, I didn't clue in. I just started eating to get rid of the heartburn. Well, then it turns out I like sugar, so I just kept eating the sugar and eating and eating and eating, and that's how I got to 316 pounds. In my weight loss journey, I've discovered that I was an emotional eater. Not so much now because I'm seeing it as a food choice rather than, and dealing with the emotions as they come rather than dealing with it with food. Oh, and my last verse, Philippians 3:13. I have not yet achieved it, but I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. Thinking about my years in high school and when I was putting all the weight on and I didn't have a lot of friends and I didn't go out all that much and I spent a lot of time on the computer. Back then the internet wasn't as big as it is now. It was mostly playing video games and whatever, that kind of stuff. Rob talked about some things in his past too, and I mentioned that Bible verse to him today. I found it's big encouragement to let the past go. That's part of why I put the weight on. So now that as I'm letting the past go, he's accomplishing things bigger than I can ask or think. I mean, how else? I proved for years that I can't do it on my own. Oh, sorry, are you talking to my head's missing. I proved for years that I couldn't do it on my own, that I was just putting more and more weight on, that I couldn't control my carb cravings. But once I gave it up to him and let the Lord lead me the way that he wanted me to go, look at how fast the weight has come off. I can't believe it. The inches are coming off. It's absolutely crazy. I've lost like 15 or 16 inches off just my waist. That's insane. My bra size went from like a 46, I'm now down to a 34. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. There's no way I could have accomplished that on my own. Now the last little bit of my board I'm going to show you before I'm run out of time and have too long of a video. I think this is my longest one yet. this top little corner here is just a few little quotes. It says, your body keeps an accurate journal regardless of what you write down. I try not to keep a food journal. I really don't need one. I wouldn't say I eat basically the same thing every day, but I know what I'm allowed to eat and what I'm not. And since I've eliminated wheat gluten, I'm not buying even the low carb breads anymore. And I stopped eating any kind of corn or cornstarch. It basically leaves very basic food, which is okay, that's fine too. That's the way God intended it, for you to eat it, not all processed and full of garbage and food coloring and additives and all that other garbage. So it's been working out for me. Another quote I really liked was, I may not be there yet, but I'm closer today than I was yesterday. And my last little quote thing is, own your choices. Okay, so you wanted to eat that bowl of ice cream. Okay, you chose to eat it. You didn't need a pill to get as big as you got. You don't need a pill to get smaller. You can do it all in food choices. And then the last little part here, I know they're sad. I went to the Stickman School of Art. You're lucky you got this much out of me. Or should I say, I'm lucky I got this much out of me. But these are the keys to my success. Oh, you might even be able to read them. The top one is protein first. I learned that from Banded Wendy. I started out, well, I'm still low carbing, but I started out, most of my mentors were in the low carb community, and they never really had a rule like that. This is a weight loss surgery rule I've learned since I've been watching the videos on YouTube. And mostly Banded Wendy's videos, just to start out with. There's a whole huge list of people now. I can't list you all. There's so many of you that have been such big support to me. But Wendy taught me protein first. I always make sure that that goes first. I fill up on that first and then anything else afterwards. Portion control. That's something else my weight loss surgery friends have taught me. That's something else I had a huge issue with. Once I started eating all that sugar and carbs, all that did was cause binge eating. So now that I have serious portion control, that's really been helping. Also, watch carb and sodium intake. I am so sensitive to salt intake. Something that you might not even taste the salt. I blow up like the Michelin Man. And then the last one, drink your water. I hated that idea at first. I never used to drink water at all. I barely drank anything, really, except to get the whatever I was eating down. I'd have a couple of sips of something. I got most of my calories and things in. It was never through liquid calories. It was always food. Once I started drinking the water, I noticed a real difference now. The scale, I thought I was having a stall, but it turned out I wasn't actually drinking enough water. I find the water really makes a difference. When I lost all the weight right at the beginning, I lost maybe 30 pounds. I was drinking 8 24-ounce bottles of water rather than just 8 glasses. Well, now I really notice my weight coming off it really slows down when I don't get enough water into me. That's the one challenge I'm really having with the night shift. If anybody's got any ideas, I'd love to hear them. I don't know what I can do. There's only 2 of us on night shift, so I can't be running to the toilet every 2 seconds, so I can't drink too much too late in my shift because I gotta go home and go to bed. I don't want to be getting up every 2 minutes, because once I'm up, I'll be up for the day. So then once I get up for the day after I've had my sleep, I gotta try and guzzle the water so that I have to drink it and have it gone, or basically gone, by the time I get to work at 10:30, quarter to 11 at night, because I try to drink as little as I can on my shift. I don't know. I'm having challenges trying to get my water in. So if anybody's got any ideas, I'd love to hear it. I guess the other idea would be just to suck it up, and if I have to go, I have to go. I mean, what do you do? I mean, people with kidney conditions and whatever, and you know who I'm talking to. They go whenever they need to. Why do I think it's such a big inconvenience to go to the bathroom? What's the problem? Anyway, I'll get over it, but I'd love to hear what your suggestions are. And thanks, Rob, for all the encouragement. And speaking of which, I wanted to show you. I haven't taken it off since I got it, like I said, other than work. It fits me nice and big, which is really exciting, only because normally I can't wear rubber watch bands, any of that stuff, because it's too tight to my skin and it irritates. So if it had been tight fitting, like it would have been before I lost as much weight as I have, I wouldn't have been able to wear it, whereas I've been able to wear it no problem because there's so much room now. Thank you again for the card that came with it. I really appreciated that. Well, my video, oh my God, 15 minutes. I better go. See you later.